Hi, everybody. November, we're almost at the end of the year. November 2024. It's getting cold in Idaho. Had some snow last night, and yay, looking forward to it. No, I'm not. All right, here we are again. Crazy, 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 violently crazy, dangerously crazy, insanely crazy. That's our country now. Boy, don't we have a lot to look forward to. Hello, GeoFactor 3 and Alicia DeMoss and Andrew Cruz, Tony Punch. Hi, Analog Synth Player, Angelo, Sandra, Kim Blanchard. Hi. And Barb in Ohio. I hope you're feeling better, Barb. You're going to bed. Okay. I hope you're feeling better with some rest. Louisiana Skywatch. Hi. Sacramento Linny. And Patricia White, Oracle 11, Outlaw Biker, and Julie, and Douglas Hunt, Amber Eyes, T Lamb, thank you, Hypocrites Matrix, and Goblin Majesty. I think it's important to put considering the circumstances, considering if you know somebody's circumstances, considering your circumstances after, wishing you well, hoping you well, all of that kind of stuff. Because an awful lot of people are really struggling now, big time. Not having anything to do with what they have done, but just the circumstances of our country, Western countries, the global circumstances are not good. Silent Walk, hello. Yeah, well, so thank you for considering the circumstances. All right, radar. Look at all the Doppler radar. And it just, to those who have hit me hard, claiming that I was crazy, Doppler radar is only used for tracking airplanes. Ow! They only seem to track in the east. You don't have anything flying in the sky in the west, because this is generally how it goes. All right. There are no severe weather alerts, which is good, but you do need to pay attention because coming up very shortly, severe weather. This is the forecast model, and I will link to it below because I really do recommend that you bookmark it, check it out. At least you can have an idea of what is coming your way, and what's coming everybody's way is not good. So this is midnight tonight, November 2nd. As you can see, the severe weather is just starting in Oklahoma at noontime. 6 a.m. noontime, November 2nd, it begins. And by 6 p.m., you've got the severe weather, northern Oklahoma, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Midnight, you got the really severe weather. They do love to do that severe weather in the early morning hours, right? So streaking through pretty much central Oklahoma into Kansas is severe weather. Severe weather brings about tornadic activity, straight line winds, flash flooding, hailstorms. You have to be very careful. Trees come down. Be very careful. And so that is midnight, November 3rd. Stretches out, still hanging out in Oklahoma at 6 a.m. on the 3rd, and heading into Missouri. Bad time for very north Oklahoma, the south and central east of Kansas City. Be very careful. That does not look good. That is at noontime, November 3rd. And it begins to weaken, but you still have severe weather up there in Iowa, Illinois. Yes, pockets of severe weather. Kansas, Missouri border, and that is the northeastern corner of Oklahoma. 6 p.m., November 3rd. And that is all I'm going to carry it out, because then we go into November 4th. Let's do November 4th. Oh, that's why we should do November 4th. 6 a.m. The severe weather comes back. Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. Very severe. Okay. Do pay attention. That's 6 a.m., November 4th. And it's traveling on up north, and you still have that severe weather in Missouri on into Illinois, noontime, November 4th. Still in Missouri, you got that severe weather. 6 p.m., November 4th. Oh, look at midnight, November 5, Election Day, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. Be very careful. Very careful. You got quite a bit of precipitation, snow, and rain in the Northwest, Washington, and northern Idaho. You got quite some snow coming. Not so bad, not heavy snow, but wow, boy, November 5, Election Day, 6 a.m., and I am not showing it. All right. Oh, I should give this up. Okay, here's radar. Got it? Get it, got it, good. Doppler radar on the eastern half of the country. But we're going to go back, and I'm going to do this quickly because you heard me. Okay? Starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow, November 2nd. Then noontime, the severe weather begins in Oklahoma. 6 p.m., you have severe weather in the north central portion of Oklahoma. Then the severe weather gets worse in central Oklahoma on into Kansas, spreads out into Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. Still the severe weather at 6 a.m. on November 3rd. Boom. Noontime, November 3rd. Severe weather for you guys in Kansas. The south central on up to the east central of Kansas. That's not looking good. Be very careful. Noontime, November 3rd. Weekends a bit for you guys, 6 p.m., November 3rd, but you have some heavy rain in Iowa and Illinois. And watch this. You have this severe weather beginning again, Oklahoma into Missouri. Boom. November 4, 6 a.m. Be very careful, you guys in Missouri. The southeast corner of Kansas And the northeast corner of Oklahoma, 6 a.m., November 4, stretches on into Missouri, into Illinois. Severe weather for you guys in central and north Missouri, 12 p.m., November 4. Weakens a bit, but you still have that severe weather in Missouri at 6 p.m. and on into Illinois, right on the border, 6 p.m., November 4. And here it comes back for you guys in Oklahoma, in Kansas, in Missouri, North Missouri. That's at midnight, November 5. Boom, boom, shakalaka, boom. Look at this. All right, so Texas, the northeast corner of Texas, you've got some heavy rain. You've got severe weather. Yeah, in the northwest corner of Arkansas, into Missouri, into Illinois. And it's not looking good. And this is 6 a.m. Election Day, November 5, but begins to weaken a bit. But even still, this can, look, we know what the weather terrorists can bring us, okay? So, central Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois. This is at noontime, November 5. Begins to weaken. Okay. So we're now at midnight, November 6. You still have some heavy rain up in Arkansas, Tennessee, the very west corner of Tennessee. And we've got, this, is that Hurricane Patty showing herself in our forecast model? Yes. All right, so snow up here for the northwest states, Idaho's, Montana, Washington, Oregon, along with rain. Nothing too dramatic, but you never know, okay? You never know. So, be very careful. Radar link is in the chat. Forecast model is in the chat. Do not take lightly. Do not take lightly what you see on these models. Now, they sure are known to change, but at least you get an idea of what is coming to you, right? Okay. Did I mention Hurricane Patty? Yes, I did. So let's listen to Into Thin Air. Hope he doesn't get pissed at me for playing so many of his videos, but I highly recommend that you subscribe to Into Thin Air because, yeah, he stays on it. Hurricane Patty, Texas, Oklahoma, severe weather, flooding, which I just showed you. But yeah, here we go.
Right when we're going to see potential Hurricane Patty getting named. So we're going to have a severe snow. All right, everyone, welcome back. November 1st, we made it. We are through the month of October, and we have an update on potential Hurricane Patty and Hurricane Raphael. You can see both in the most updated GFS model. I'll show you some others as well, but it is now time to prepare as we will see this more than likely a tropical storm by November 3rd, possibly the 4th, and after that, all bets are off if this thing enters the Gulf. That is what Patty's showing to do, and once it's actually in there, the National Hurricane Center usually thinks they know what's going to happen, but this year they've been dead dead wrong. All right, so let's check out what we're dealing with here. As you could see, each day that went by, the chance of this becoming a tropical cyclone went through the roof every single day, about 10 to 20% each day, and we are now at a 70% chance of cyclone formation over the next week. As you can see from this post, we have been screaming from the rooftops to expect this storm to form almost 9 days ago. And of course, as you all know, people were calling us crazy, fear-mongering, you name it, I was called that. But now every single weather channel is talking about the possibility of this hurricane, Hurricane Patty, and not only that, but the possibility of Raphael as well. All right, there's something else I want to touch on here, is the severe weather we're expecting in the center of the country here. And I want you to look at all these water vapor lines, because that's what they are, right? We're not allowed to call them anything else but water vapor trails. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. You could see that west to east movement and that slow rise. We're expecting that weather to start popping up right around here, and then it's going to start bubbling up in this area exactly where you're seeing all these lines being dropped. Just take a look at that quickly one more time. We'll just go back and forth with the last hour or two of movement, and you can just see them very distinct. They're everywhere, all over Texas here. You can see, we'll get very close, and let's move this dial back and forth, and you can see them actually forming. It's pretty incredible, and this happens all day long, specifically where we see heavy storms that are expected to form. Let's check out this area right here. We'll backtrack, and you move forward, and you just see them getting thicker and thicker, totally covering the entire area. And now if we jump back over to tropical tidbits, you can see exactly where that's going to bubble up, right through Texas, Oklahoma. Keep in mind, this is November 3rd, right when we're going to see potential Hurricane Patty getting named. So we're going to have a severe snow situation in the Rockies, as well as severe weather in the center of the country, right near where we dealt with all the tornadoes over the spring. This is a
Well,
day event. So this will be the talk of the town come election day. When we reach the 5th on Tuesday, still severe weather all through the center of the country. This is going on 3 days now. So even though we're not dealing with a hurricane at this time, the center of the country is going to be completely saturated with severe weather for a 3-day period. And then that's when we should expect Hurricane Patty to enter into the Gulf, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. This is going to be
okay, so here we go. Link is in the chat again, and I don't see the severe snow in the west as he does, but you'll have snow. Okay, so I don't have much because I wasn't around much today, and I'm just going to go over what I've captured. And this is really interesting. So the typhoon in, was it Vietnam? I can't even remember now. But this was sent to me by a subscriber. Check it out. Yeah, this a whole pane of glass just falls out of the window of a building. But what you're going to see on the highway No, so this was September 7th. That was all of the cars and trucks protecting those on the scooter from the wind. Very cool, right? Yes, like it. I like it. So, Queensland, hailstorm. Yep, Australia.
Even damaging roofs and car windows in their yards. severe thunderstorm with large hail has hit parts of southeast Queensland, while New South Wales is also bracing for severe weather on Thursday.
And you know, my God, the size of that hail did damage to roofs, to people. It hurt. Cars. Yeah. Well, we sure do know what this is about. But I hope, the hail was it. No, look at that. Flooding.
Meanwhile, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for the Somerset, Brisbane, and Moreton Bay areas, as well as the southeast coastal districts just before 1:30 p.m.
That is mighty big hail. 3 weeks ago, Colombia. I don't think I included Colombia, so I include Colombia now. Cali, Colombia.
La ciudad de Cali, capital del Valle del Cauca, luchó contra las fuertes lluvias que comenzaron el jueves por la tarde y que rápidamente sumieron la ciudad en el caos. Las inundaciones en las zonas críticas paralizaron la vida en la ciudad, mientras los ciudadanos y las autoridades pasaron por momentos difíciles. Las intensas lluvias que afectaron a Cali el 10 de octubre de 2024 provocaron una serie de emergencias en la ciudad. Las imágenes compartidas por los usuarios en redes sociales hicieron que la magnitud del evento fuera entendida por todo el país. Una de las áreas más afectadas fue la calle Quinta, una de las principales arterias del sur de la ciudad, que se vio gravemente afectada por las inundaciones. Uno de los mayores problemas que dejó esta catástrofe fue la falta de capacidad de la infraestructura de la ciudad. Desde la ciudad se presentaban problemas similares. Por ejemplo, en la calle 3 y la carrera 50.
I will post the link. This is happening all over the world, and that should be questioned. That really should be questioned. This kind of destructive rain that comes and floods out, we're talking feet and feet, right? Eats up the roads, which extremely low frequencies can do. And they use extremely low frequencies to steer, to intensify, to create weather. Also, did I have Venezuela in here? I saw this. Venezuela, flash flood sweeps away cars in Caracas. No one is safe. No one is safe. So, Western North Carolina, the FEMA camp apparently has grown.
So I'm out here in Candler, North Carolina, where a couple of weeks ago I walked into the front gate of what was allegedly a FEMA camp. Spoke to a gentleman by the name of Josh Wirt, who told me that he would convey the contracts for this camp on this site to me. I've yet to have that information sent to me. But in the meantime, since I've been here, this camp has grown significantly. A lot more refrigerated trucks, much better organized, many more tornado shelters, new scrim fencing that is tented, and security cameras around the camp on light poles. We approached a FEMA office today just 5 minutes away and asked them where all the locations were. None of them included this particular location, and when presented with the question about this particular location, nobody that we spoke to at this FEMA outpost knew anything about this camp. So we still don't have answers as to what's going on, but we're starting to hear more reports of more bodies. So what is really happening here in the hills of Western North Carolina?
No one really knows, but I've been hearing still people are saying they have not seen FEMA anywhere. Well, go down to Asheville, you'll see. Well, they claim that it was for 700 employees. But every video that I watch, you hardly see any people, which is kind of unusual. But if they have 700 employees in Asheville, why aren't they going up the mountains? Oh, that's right, the militia. We're scared of them. Health Ranger writes, I wish I could meaningfully explain to all of you reading this just how much trouble we're all in. Whatever bad things you think are about to happen, I assure you it's nowhere near what's actually about to happen. Under no circumstances will the deep state, corporate media, this is long, corporate media, rigged judicial system, and globalist controlled Pentagon allow Trump to be sworn in. Well, yeah. If you don't think that Trump he's just somehow been able to, swing on into Washington, D.C. without being selected. I will post the link to this. You can read it. But the first part of it, I absolutely agree. Bad things are coming. Bad things are here, but bad things are coming. So just want to give everybody a heads up that there is great need for campers or RVs in Western North Carolina. And this is United Cajun Navy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Brian here with the United Cajun Navy here in our office headquarters here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and just kind of wanted to make a quick appeal to all our followers out there. We're starting to switch from rescue to recovery mode out there in Western North Carolina after the devastation of Hurricane Helene, and everybody's heard about the weather changing. It's starting to get cold over there. People need, warm weather gear, things like that, but most of all, what people need is some kind of temporary shelter, right? One of the things that's been brought to our attention here recently, the law says that if parents are homeless or can't demonstrate that they have a safe and proper place to live, that the state can actually exercise rights to take those children away from the parents. Now, we're not saying that the state is going around and confiscating kids. That's not what we're saying. We haven't heard any reports of that. We're not even getting into that. What we're saying is that the fear exists. We've already had a lot of situations where there were, rumors and stories, whatnot, that caused a lot of fear and anxiety from people. And in this case, this is a law. This is the law. We researched it, and it is actually the law. And people can actually lose their children if they can't demonstrate that they have a safe place to live. Now, the law is very specific. It says that the Department of Social Services, they would have to basically prove that they felt the child was in danger or being neglected. And then it's subject to court review. So even if the children were temporarily taken from the parents still have a right to go to court. However, there's barriers to that because people don't have access to legal services and resources to pay for legal services and court filing fees and all that kind of stuff. So it's not always a cut and dry remedy for everybody. So having said all that, we are appealing to our followers and our donors. If you have an RV or a camper that you're able to donate, especially if it's like less than 10 years old, it's really got to be in good shape, guys, because it's getting inspected before it's being placed with families. We've partnered up with a couple of organizations in Western North Carolina that are helping us find places to put these campers either temporarily, and they could be moved to people's lands where their house used to be at some point. But right now, we're just partnering up to make sure they get out into the field and we can get families in them. So if they have temporary shelter, at very least, it can alleviate this fear that it might make the unfortunate decision that that child is better off with the state instead of with their family. We don't want to see that. So we really are pushing hard to get these RVs. So please reach out to us, www.unitedcajunnavy.com. You can email us info@unitedcajunnavy.org. Reach out to us on social media, and let us know if you have one of these campers or RVs to donate, and we will work with you to get it transported and placed in a situation where it can be used and placed with a family in need. We appreciate everything y'all been doing thus far. We love you. You've been amazing. We're going, like we said, from rescue to recovery. It's going to be a long haul, but we're in it. We're there, and we're committed. So thank you very much.
Okay, and I think that you can trust United Cajun Navy, and we have Louisiana Skywatch, who has had her experiences with Cajun Navy, she being in floods. So, yeah, if you have an RV, a camper you're not using, can you donate it to a family that just lost their home? But I've heard from many on Twitter, they talking about hearing that CPS is threatening parents that if they don't find housing, that the state will provide. You don't want the state providing at all. So, yeah, these people need housing. My heart is full of hope and happiness. Yeah, it's cool.
I want to keep squalling about all this, but my heart is absolutely overflowing today. First of all, the Amish from Lancaster, Pennsylvania is sending a 56-passenger bus to Swannanoa, North Carolina to build little cabins for people who lost their homes. They're going to be here from Monday through Friday. Friday, they're going to go home and then come back Monday with a fresh crew to start all over again. And they say they don't want any help. They just basically want people to stay out of their way and let them do what they got to do. They said they're going to be 100% self-sufficient, and they're going to get that done, and people are going to have a home, at least in Swannanoa. A couple of days ago, I did a video saying I was going to do a little Operation Santa Claus for the kids here in the mountains who lost everything. And look what Amazon just brought. This is y'all's goodness. I wonder what that Amazon driver thought. My cat doesn't even know what to think. Look at her. My heart's just beating so fast, and I probably sound like a crazy rodeo goat, but I don't even know what to say. This is just amazing. I love y'all. I just had to stop filming because the neighbors came by and saw all these packages and wanted to know what was up. And so I proudly told them, and they're going to also donate from the Amazon wish list. So this has been amazing. And these youngins here in the mountains are going to have Christmas one way or another. Y'all did that. And the Amish are come to build little houses. Y'all, they'll have that whole city of Swannanoa built within a week. I want to keep squalling about it.
And if you know how the Amish can build a house, she might be right. This is what this country desperately needs, all over the country. And there has been so much attention on Western North Carolina, also, places in Eastern Tennessee. But it's because of how this region and all the communities have been, there's just such an outpouring of help, people coming in from all over the country. Well, there's an awful lot of people in need, also in Florida and Georgia and South Carolina, and they're all over, especially the elderly in Florida. We all know that Florida has an awful lot of elderly. So when they get hit, if they don't have family, if they don't have friends, they need help. So we need to use all of these people as a power of example and get it together in other areas, right? Absolutely. And, I posted on Never Lose Truth. I think I showed it last night. Yes, I did. How these linemen and women are not being paid by FEMA. And they stopped working, because FEMA kept, promising, okay, we'll pay you. And they haven't. Well, look what's happening in Florida.
The city of St. Petersburg has been praised by state leaders for leading the way in picking up massive amounts of storm debris.
But some of the workers who did the heavy lifting say they have not been paid, and that's when they knew that they had better call Bankin. And our consumer investigator Shannon Bankin joins us in studio to tell us more about it.
Stacey, Keith, we're talking long hours and backbreaking work loading up storm debris and hauling it away. There's a lot of confusion.
I'm afraid that might be too low. Let me just increase it a little. Hope it doesn't blast.
But tonight, I'm trying to get the city, the contractor, and the workers on the same page. Fidelia Mark was thrilled with the opportunity to help clean up storm debris, working for a contractor hired by the city of St. Petersburg through its Hometown Recovery Haulers program.
I needed the money. I mean, who don't need the money? $200 a load. If you can get as many as you can, that's good money. So that's why a lot of us were lined up hauling this junk.
She spent one long day loading up her white van with debris and taking it to a city dump. But nearly 2 weeks later, she hasn't seen a dime.
He would assign us at a home. He would tell us to take a picture of the home, take a picture of the trash, take a picture of your load, take it to the dump, take a picture of you at the dump.
Okay. And you did all that?
I did all of that.
So you did everything you were supposed to do to get paid?
Yes, I did.
Fidelia says she unloaded 5 hauls and is owed $1,000. At least 25 people worked as subcontractors for a man assigned to placard number 83.
Some people did 10, some people did 12.
I went to City Hall for answers and was told they'd look into this. I reached out to the contractor, Ronald Gibson. He tells me none of his 25 workers have been paid yet because he has been waiting on his check from the city to clear. He explained that he is paid $300 per load and will pass along $200 of that to workers. However, he tells me Fidelia's group did not upload their photos correctly, and he hasn't been paid for their hauls yet. Fidelia is hopeful that with my help, the city, the contractor, and the workers can get extra time to clear this up. Meanwhile, though, she tells me she feels used.
We've been waiting 72 hours after 72 hours, and today is the third 72 hour we're going to have to wait.
Ron.
What's happening in our country? Just slaves. Just slaves. Okay, I have to just a little bit. I'll post the link if you don't know what's happening in Spain, but it is so horrendous. And mainstream media has been saying that it's over 200 people that have died. But this destruction, very similar to what happened with Hurricane Helene up in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee. But it is it's a wow.
In a single day, Valencia was devastated by nature's fury. Massive floods, and shockingly, a tornado that tore through the coast. Streets turned to rivers, homes became islands, and the whirlwind lifted boats from the water like toys, leaving destruction in its path. With 158 lives lost and counting, this is not just a storm. It's one of the deadliest natural disasters Europe has seen in half a century. The people of Valencia were caught completely off guard, as if one calamity wasn't enough. A waterspout transformed into a tornado, reaching the coast in Isla Cristina, Huelva, with incredible speed. Don't
you wish? Don't you wish? Don't you wish that people would just look at all of the evidence, mountains and mountains of evidence, documents, papers, experiments on weather modification, tornadoes. Just look at weather modification by artificial satellite. And it details how they can create tornadoes, but also enhance rainfall. Oh, all of the weather modification that you would want in one method. And there are many methods. Never Lose Truth playlist, weather modification. Another playlist, geoengineering. Another playlist, directed energy weapons. Playlist, floods. Check out some of the floods that we've been having throughout the years. This destruction has been going on for a very, very long time. People are really paying the price here, suffering the consequences. This is nothing to, just, oh, well, too bad for them. No. And do not have that thought, as I'm sure a lot of people have. I've had it. Oh, what a shame. But it won't happen to me. It can happen to anyone. Now, on the other browser that I have, I think I actually do have here. Our government is tyrannical. Yeah.
So the Red Cross is pulling their shelters out of North Carolina, basically giving the survivors who have nothing left a swift kick in the teeth. Then North Carolina Child Protective Services says if you don't have a safe and secure place to take your children, we're going to take them from you. But it's not just the people in these shelters that need to be concerned. If a mental health worker comes to interview you, and you as a homeless disaster survivor pour your heart out to this mental health professional, including how hard it is to take care of your children in these times, they're going to have a solution for you. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to be one you're going to like. They're going to take your children as a ward of the state. But why does the state of North Carolina want to take these children into custody and place them in the foster care system while doing absolutely nothing for their parents, I might add? The answer is there is a massive state and federal funding that creates a huge motive to seize these children, while little to no funding is available to help their parents, especially with their housing issues. How the fuck is this happening in the United States? Why is the answer separating families instead of just reevaluating funding to help families? Let me know what you think in the comments. AP out.
It's happening because we are a tyranny. It's happening because CPS gets an awful lot of money for each individual child. They've been stealing children from American homes for decades. We had a state senator, Georgia, Nancy, oh, help me out, Schaefer, spoke out about the corruption of CPS, the stealing of children. Oh, and then she and her husband died. It was a murder-suicide. You go back many, many years. We've been evil for a very, very, very long time. People have been speaking out. But when you have the internet, and now a whole lot of people are speaking out, and still Americans really sit back and, oh, well. There's a whole lot of evil that is happening in a Christian nation. We do need Christians to be screaming out about this. Everybody needs to. This was 30 plus days after Helene hit. still, so those 700 employees in Asheville at this camp, supposedly, what are they doing? We know. We know. Nothing. Nada. So let me just go back here, and EU tells citizens to stock up for nuclear disaster. I think this is periodic that the EU comes out. Yes, prepare for disaster, not just nuclear disaster, cyber attacks, chemical weapon attacks, natural disasters. Stock up for 3 days. That's what is really like, are you kidding? You should stock up 3 days worth of goods in order to be ready for various potential disasters, including a nuclear conflict. 3 days. And then it'll all go back to normal. Don't worry. Are you flipping kidding me? 3 days? Published on Wednesday, this former Finnish president was elected to go around and make sure, do an analysis or come up with a report or something. EU's push to make the bloc more resilient in the face of supposedly mounting threats ranging from natural disasters to a major military conflict. Oh my God. 3 days. Now, I'm sure those in the region that got hit by flooding in Spain, 3 days. Western North Carolina, they're doing fabulous. 3 days. The report encourages EU households to stockpile basic self-sufficiency goods that would last for at least 72 hours for fear of potential shortages in case of armed aggression through conventional means or other hostile activities, such as cyber attacks or the use of chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear weapons. And you'll be fine. Assessing the EU security needs following the escalation of the Ukraine conflict, responding in particular to Russia's intensifying hybrid operations. One click. This is the head of the European Commission, President Ursula von der Leyen said, one click can switch off power grids or plunge whole cities into the dark. Okie dokie. Well, the report comes amid Western warnings regarding Russia's alleged plans to attack Western Europe if it secures a victory over Ukraine. Russian President Putin has dismissed the claims as nonsense. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has similarly described the allegations as horror stories and suggested they had been made up by Western leaders to distract people's attention from problems in their own country. Okay, 3 days. And your leaders will have everything back to normal. Crazy. North Korean official in Moscow. U.S. and South Korea plotting nuclear strike. Ah, yes. It could happen. They do have the capability of setting off what looks like a nuclear bomb without the radiation. So that would sure freak people out, right? But all of this, is it fear-mongering? I think so. To keep everybody on the edge of their seats. Everybody, everywhere, freak out. Oh, sure does reflect how very sick our leaders are, that they just can't seem to get it together. Psychopathic, crazy people. This is another, okay? Another 425 million to Ukraine. Was it last week we were giving 400 million to Ukraine? This is another 425 million to Ukraine. I think we have Americans in need. Oh, that's right. A whole lot of those people never got the 750 from FEMA in Western North Carolina. All right. Yeah. Red Cross shelters closing down. Good luck finding a place. And if you don't, well, we're going to have to take your kids. FEMA denying to an awful lot of people, not just in Western North Carolina, in Florida. This has been going on for years. Too bad for you. We don't have any assistance for you. We're out of money. So it goes to the migrants or other countries, but not to Americans. Can you not see how intentional this is, Americans? Oh, here. This is a new video. This is a video. I don't know. I think it's something about if Trump wins, or doesn't matter.
We weren't always like this. We had a beautiful life. The best parties. The most beautiful friends. We thought it was just another election. So a lot of us didn't vote. Why bother? Everyone knew the system was rigged. Many of us even voted for them. I know it sounds crazy now, but we didn't like Democrats back then. We were angry about the vaccine mandates and how they handled the war in Gaza and the way they wanted to censor free speech on the internet.
They want unquestioned obedience.
So what did we end up doing? We voted for the guys who openly said they wanted to imprison dissenters and use the military against their political opponents. So yeah, you were wrong on that. Big time. When Trump got sick and died, Vance was 39 years old when he became president. 30 years later, he's still president today. And with the Supreme Court on his side, they gave him dictatorial powers. They took away women's reproductive rights, outlawed contraception, and removed the minimum wage. Then we had repression of dissent, AI surveillance of everything we did or said on a level we couldn't imagine. The government under Vance, Peter Thiel, and Elon Musk set up concentration camps for illegal immigrants, then legal immigrants, then even homeless people. They finally admitted climate change was real, but it was too late. Florida sank into the Gulf and the West burned, and cities across the country became uninsurable, then uninhabitable. Musk and Thiel poured all of our resources into artificial intelligence so they and their friends could become immortal. I don't know what happened to them, but I know what happened to us.
Okay. Haven't you noticed that we're actually living a lot of what this little video shows us? We're already living it under Obama, under Biden. But this is the problem, because the right is also, there's no difference. We have one party, and they're all tyrannical. When Trump says that he's going to jail Jew haters, and it was another grouping that you need to take seriously and analyze. Why are you supporting somebody who would say that? But also understand that they all violate the Constitution. We don't have a Constitution. We are already a tyranny, and it's only going to get worse. No, Elon Musk is not your friend. Peter Thiel is not your friend, nor is Trump. Operation Warp Speed killed off an awful lot of people. Never has he mentioned all of the injuries and deaths associated with that new product. But people are going crazy over this election, that's for sure. How about we go over to this browser and crazy lady. I have seen so many of these videos. You know, the details are different, but it's the Democrats removing those lawn signs, coming up to people's homes, and demanding that they remove their lawn sign. Okay, Americans are crazy. A whole lot are control freaks because they don't have really any power. So they have to exercise some power over their neighbors, and they just look like they're out of their friggin' minds. So here is an example of it, whether it's lawn signs. Here, it's a flag on somebody's truck. Ugh.
Lucky I'm in a good mood. Get the hell out of here.
Fucking disrespectful.
Look what she's doing. She's on my property and taking my flag.
I'm not your.
This is my truck. Get away from my truck. Get away from my truck, you crazy lady. Please. What are you doing right now?
You're a fucking ass.
What are you doing right now? Here's your license plate. Lady, please get away from my vehicle. I have to go to work. I'm gonna go get the cops involved. Get away from my vehicle now. You cut me off.
What gives you the right to
free? This is America. This is a free country. Get away from my vehicle. Or I'm gonna press charges on you. Get away from my vehicle right now and get on the road. What are you doing right now? You're like 100 years old. Go in your fucking vehicle and get in the road now. Get in the road now. I don't know what you think you're doing. Touching my fucking shit. You're lucky I'm in a good mood. Get the hell out of here. Look at this lady. Crazy. All because of my flag. Crazy.
Yeah, because
Crazy Democrat. This is what we have in America. Crazy Democrats. Crazy Democrats. There you go.
Something really bad happened to this country, to the people, to the Democrats. As a former Democrat, I will say, whoa, that shit crazy now. Never used to be like this, but now it is so divisive, but crazy behavior from people who think that they have a right to touch somebody else's property and then just yank it off, have the right to come and say, you know, this is disrespectful. The hell? Do people need to work on themselves? Yeah. Here's another crazy.
Hi, you are being recorded. Just to let you know for the court of law. And you just committed a crime.
This is actually on public property.
You just committed. I know. You committed a crime. You can't do that.
You know what?
So there you go. That's his face. That's what they look like. Go ahead. Not too close. Not too close.
Fuck you.
This is his face.
You see?
This is his face. That's what they look like. Yep. Look at that. That's what they look like. So next time you look and you think what they look like, that's their face.
You are a fucking retard.
That's their face. There you go. You gotta love them. You gotta love them.
Okay. Watching Americans and listening to some of what these candidates, you know, say and spew and, you know, cursing at one another and calling one another names. This is junior high school. This guy is like still in junior high school. Oh, you stink. What? Okay. Do we need to grow up? Oh, it's frightening. I mean, it's really anybody who thinks that this is perfectly fine behavior. Do you understand how we can never get anywhere good when a whole lot of Americans are behaving in this way? And yes, I will say it is mostly the Democrats. Yeah, sorry, guys. I used to be on your team, but I'm actually glad that I walked away, #walk away, before #walk away. Something's very wrong with your team. And if you can't see how sick and demented Kamala and Biden are, you're blind. You're so deeply indoctrinated that you cannot think beyond what mainstream media and government officials are telling you. You have been taken over. You have no soul. You have no brain. You're just a shell of a human being. Is Trump any better? Are the conservatives any better? Yeah, they are, actually. They're more mature. They're less violent, less divisive, believe it or not. But they're being led by somebody who's going to lead them right off the cliff. So, you know, and all of that talk about Trump being a dictator and, you know, throwing people into detention camps and martial law and everything. It could very well turn out that that's what happens? Trump wins. All hell breaks loose. He declares martial law. And on the left, they all say, see, we told you. There's no way out of this trap. Americans are trapped in this system. Some of us look from the outside. A whole lot are on the inside on teams. And there's no way out. Doesn't matter who wins. 65 years living in this country with everything getting worse, and it never mattered. Who was in the White House? Didn't matter who had control in the House or the Senate. Everything has only gotten worse. So the Republicans and the Democrats never, ever did anything different to alleviate an awful lot of the problems that still exist, only worse. You have to really think about that. But here we are, right? Screaming at one another. You know, we don't need any outside source to take us down. We're doing a fine job on our own. Yeah. And okay, well, yeah, something's wrong.
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just caused me one of the most important people in my life. My dad. Donald Trump, I hate you. You will never be president again. You bastard, you costed me my dad. My dad was the most important person in the world to me, but now his colors are finally out. I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin bitch. I hate you, you stupid, failed fucking businessman. You fucking sicken me. You and all of your fucking Trump supporters. Fuck you. I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just caused me one of the most important.
There's no healing this country. She's upset because her father is going to vote for Trump. Okay? So, with this mentality in this human being, what good can this person manifest? Until she works on herself. Wow! And it's going to be quite a bit of work. She can only manifest division. Oh boy, we are in big shit. Blue state shenanigans, it's election time. Here we go. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I hate repeats. I like to resolve things. Okay, so we have all over the country a whole lot of evidence already that something is not quite right with this election. Oh. And it does seem to be, the Democrats who are finagling the voting against Trump. Purposeful, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. And then what happens? Trump doesn't win? Oh my God. Isn't the right, all of the Trump supporters, going to go berserk? They not understanding how manipulated they have been by their guy. All of this is orchestrated. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is my opinion. I'm sticking with it. It's all orchestrated, just like it was in 2016 and also in 2020. We saw so many videos of pretty much the exact same thing. Oh my God.
Federal allegations made the ethnic report. So you guys have ID on you?
I'm not going to have a police report filed on me for, we're not beyond the electioneering line. We didn't do anything wrong because the lady was triggered by a sign. We have to have a police report filed on us? That sounds kind of extreme.
The voter thing.
Right, a voter thing. So what's the law that was broken?
Harassment, voting.
There's no harassment.
I know, but we'll have to do a report for the state.
Imagine every Democrat voter that pulls up here gets triggered by us handing out Republican stuff. There's going to be 17 police reports on us today. We're not even talking to these people. I really would rather not have my name put on a police report for, I mean, we're law-abiding citizens here. We're not doing absolutely anything wrong at all. Poor people.
Okay, thank you.
It's just, it seems that the other side is very triggered by this side.
No calls and complaints to the election judge up there. So you guys are good. There's no report, nothing's going to happen.
All right, appreciate it.
Whoever saw this obviously misinterpreted whatever was there. So security, I talked to them. They said where you guys are, you're perfect.
Yep, that's right wrong.
No,
Thank you guys.
I'm sorry.
A Democrat voter was triggered by this sign. If you are not a citizen of the United States, it is illegal for you to vote. Calls the police. All right, man. Wow. And here, all right, the voting machines seem to be switching the vote. So people voting for Trump, suddenly the ballot comes out as a vote for Harris. Same thing. Dominion. I posted videos on the Dominion voting machine probably 10 years ago. How easily manipulated those machines were. And we're still using them? Okay. So here. Ballot not read after voting for Trump.
Questions, election board right next door.
Thank you.
I think it's because I voted for Trump. It doesn't work.
And here, oh boy, breaking, they turned the lights off on voters. Power blackout. Voters in Levittown, Pennsylvania, forced to vote using cell phone flashlights, 6-hour wait to vote. When there are places where they have lines of people, but the voting ends at 5 o'clock. And sure enough, they close down the line at like 1:45. It's very obvious what's going on.
I agree. I have to. I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning.
6:30. 6:30. Not about me though.
I just want you to be able to vote. And I know there's other options than standing here today, but I want you to be able to do this today.
The other gentleman.
Back tomorrow.
Oh my God, it's just voter ID should be mandatory throughout America. And in an awful lot of places, there's no ID. You don't need an ID. Just come in and vote. We're in big, big trouble. We're in big trouble. So, if you are someone who's going to be ecstatic when they announce Trump winning, what do you think is going to be happening in this country? Think about all the possibilities. We're caught. We're trapped. And whether it's Trump, it doesn't even matter. It does not matter. They'll pull another pandemic. We got the cyber polygon grid coming down. And look, if you think that Trump is the man and he's not playing his role and he's not a puppet, it's because you want to believe that. You want to believe that. But beliefs are not facts. And there's a lot of players behind the curtain, and they pull Trump's strings as well. Buckle up is right. Now, I'm going to get going. I am very, very tired. I do want to say that I am very sorry for... I am really... I'm going through now the hardest time I've ever gone through in my life. Very hard for me to respond to people. I'm doing my best every single day, but yeah, there are people who have emailed me, and I frankly, I mean, I'm brain dead in a lot of aspects of my life now. So, and I do not text. I have no interest in texting people. So, I do apologize if you feel hurt or whatever, but I just can't, not now. And yeah, I'm sure a lot are also feeling like they are just getting through the day. So I just wanted to explain to those who have emailed, and I have failed to respond. And I will respond to emails, and I find it very interesting that I don't get any response back. So that's the way of the cyber world. You have to wonder if anybody is getting the response. I don't know. It's very difficult to maintain continuity. It's always been difficult for me to maintain continuity in real life for my own, issues, but very difficult for me. I try, but it's an oh well. And so if I don't respond, it's not because I don't like you or whatever. I have very little energy these days. So, on that note, please get out and help your communities. Do what you can to lighten the load for people. And hell, if anybody has a rental in not so rural an area, sure would like to hear from you. But it's not just major disaster when you can focus in and see all of these people having a hard time. There are people in your own community having a really hard time. And the elderly, it's scary what's going on. So be of assistance, be of service, live honestly, speak honestly. And on that note, be safe and good night and good luck. Ciao, guys.